everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. And there's a few things that I wanted to share that I kind of realized maybe some people don't understand fully what I'm saying, not because they don't understand, but I mean, some people just don't understand. Yeah, of course, we know that. We skip over them. But maybe because I haven't fully explained a lot of stuff. Here's the thing. Because I've even had people like giving props in their own videos or to say thank you or list me as, people that they looked at or whatever. And I see myself being lumped in with the category of people who do videos that I almost 100% disagree with at the root level. Yes, their information is mostly true, but at the root level, I don't agree. So I wanted to get into what is called, what I've known to be called, and what I've understood, and what I've experienced. I would not share this if I did not experience it. But first, I'll just tell the story. I've told it in my older videos. I'm way back, like a year or so ago. So I was from Boston just then. So, anyways, when I had this experience happen to me, one of the things I had been struggling with was because I always had a weird feeling towards like the cross as people portray it. I thought cool things, attributed to it, like, there was one church that I attended for a long time, which was Savior's, where they would have like this wooden cross, and sometimes you would just see like a pack of cigarettes there, or like whatever, and people would write down their worries and like nail it to this cross or whatever. So things like that, at the time I thought were kind of cool, whatever. So basically that's pagan and ritualistic. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like myself with my interactions with this thing. So I kind of felt like it. I don't know, people that like revere it and wear it a lot and like sport it a lot, I always thought it was kind of strange, and that I didn't want to if I didn't understand it. So I mean, fully the symbol of it, because way before the time of Christ, they had Chinese lettering, and in Chinese lettering there, or some sort, I'm pretty sure it's Chinese, the symbol for tree is a cross. So it's been around for a long time. And when this experience happened to me, one of the things that happened when I had to like excuse myself from what was happening to me, because there was like people around, like, what the hell. So I went outside, and one of the things that when I was closing my eyes was I would see this giant glowing cross, and it was, I mean, like, not mistakable, and I would close my eyes and it would be there. And so that's just kind of something, that like something's happening to you, and you close your eyes and you can just see it like plain as day. It's so bright, it's almost like burning into your being. You can feel it. So I started to keep an eye out for that, and in almost everything I found about Druidic, ancient Sumerian, Egyptian, I mean pretty much everything, the illumination of the gods is consecrated by a glowing cross. So I found that in a lot of different things. 30 Seconds to Mars also shows it a lot. So anyways, I want to explain to you what the Templar Axion Death Seal, which is the sixth seal, which is the seal of wisdom and hidden knowledge, which is the hidden Sephiroth of the Tree of Life. So what is that, and the number 666, and the six-pointed star, which, I did not put it on here, but I'm going to put it there right now. So the six-pointed star, what does that have to do with it? So why does Jesus show this? So there are certain people that during the time of Jesus that were actually marked. They were given a mark, and it was a seal. And we hear about the seals in the book of Revelations, and actually all throughout the Bible you hear about these different seals. And one of them was the seal of Metatron, or the seal of the six-pointed star. And it was actually like a DNA marker, so that we would not ascend and be locked in, that we would keep incarnating until this time now where everybody's being unsealed. So people who have broken the seals through like magi practices and different things like that, black magic, blood magic, whatever you want to call it, people that have done that type of stuff, that sucks for them. I mean, I think when they talk about, it's been like a war over our souls, I mean, that is truly what it's about. I mean, they've been trying to get people who were sealed back then to get into the dark arts and dark practices, to unseal them prematurely, because it can get their soul trapped in the matrix. So that's a whole other thing. So, the cube is, it's the matrix. It's like the reality that we're in, the dimension, the dome, the sphere, whatever you want to call it. But the cube of Saturn that they talk about everywhere is actually part of the hidden Zephyroth, the tree of knowledge, which is your crown chakra, which is part of your crown chakra. So you see the third eye symbolism for Horus is for right here. So I always say it's the difference between illumination and enlightenment. Like, enlightenment is to have your third eye open. A lot of people are born that way, but to have your crown or your halo, it needs to be that sixth seal has to be broken. That the seventh, I'm sorry, to get to the seventh, you have to have that sixth seal broken. So I'm going to show you what I made just to give you an idea. So here is the cube before it's open, and I just used green to symbolize yellow because I didn't have yellow. So here's the cube before it's open, and you can see it's this cube and this six-pointed star. Okay, and then when you open it, it's gold on the inside. It glows on the inside because the knowledge isn't there. It's being protected. The light, the sphere of Amente is inside here, and it is being protected. So when you open it, and this opening can actually happen at different times throughout someone's spiritual evolution. A lot of the time it's done by a guru, or it's done in church, or it's done maybe in sacred sites or in the mountains, or sometimes it's just done when people are alone. Different people have different stories, but this will happen. Then sometimes it will close back up and turn back into this box. So you have the key because you've opened it, but it goes back into this box. And sometimes people go through their initiations, and then when it comes to this glowing cross again, then it is turned back into the cube, and it is that gold cube, which is the black sun, which is actually Jesus. So once you've attained this, you've attained that godhood, that Jesus. That's what they say, like, one may reach the level of the sun by the worship of multiple lesser deities, because all these planets that are below the sun, they all have to be unlocked to get to the sun. Okay, so it's not what people necessarily think. So I encourage you to look up gold cube symbolism, and you'll find the gold cube. Katy Perry wears the gold cube once, so I think it's kind of funny that she's wearing that. It's kind of her way of saying, like, you know, just so you know. And the black sun, I will do another video on the black sun Dionysus. And those people that were sealed are they go all the way back to the story of Dionysus, which is Queen Semiramis' husband. So, and she's like the consort of the bulls and stuff like that. So anyways, I'll get into that in another video. And I actually had to go to the library. I could not find a lot of information on the internet, so it was kind of cool. But so that's why when I talk about like Jesus is 666, and people like freak out, but I have to ask people why, you know, and doesn't it seem like you're being set up to learn something and then actually turn on something that you believed in? I mean, why would it be such a big deal? Why does it need to be such a big deal? Like, that's what people have to understand. I mean, if it wasn't a big deal, it wouldn't be a big deal, you know, but it obviously is. So, I always say, you know, you have to take on your beliefs. Beliefs are prisons for the mind. So you have to just set that aside and say what else is going on. So this is the seal of the 666 Templar Axion seal that goes to the crown chakra. And anybody that's done this or had this happen to them, which there are people that have had this happen to them, it's not going to happen to everybody like this. Everybody has a different experience. But it's kind of weird to say it, but for those of us who were the gods from old times, and I mean like really old times, that some of us were left behind, and what you can look into is Bobby Hemmett, and Bobby Hemmett does some crazy stuff, but I love watching his videos because, I mean, he actually talks about how, you know, different people, and there you can note these things, you know, on old articles and things that happened even as early as the 90s, where they were doing rituals in the 90s, and they were asked, you know, why are you doing this? And in other countries, all these different world leaders got together. They said, well, we believe that some of the gods actually made it out of Iraq and made it out of that area during the first invasion of Sumeria, and that they are going to reincarnate into the Americas. So, sorry, I'm getting text messages. That they are going to incarnate into the Americas, and that they were, the pictures of the images that they had that they were going to reincarnate, I was just like, come on, this is like crazy, you know. And so, and I've even talked to like people who are Indian that studied Vishnu and studied the Vedic texts and everything, that have given me references like, you need to look up this particular Indian goddess, like, you know, you need to. And my dreams that I had in junior high that I've shared with people before, were of me in India, and I was eating Indian food, and when I explained to him and then how we were eating the Indian food, what it was like, he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's exactly how we eat. Like we don't show it like that, but that's exactly how we eat." And I was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." But I had tasted the Indian food before I tasted. So anyway, that's not about me. But just as an example, so that's when you see the black cube and the gold cube. So when the gold cube is gold, it spins, and that turns into like a sun. And that's why in the book of Revelations it says, like, I'm going to be that light for you. Going to need a sun and a moon. I'm going to be this aloha, which means to rise up. To rise up. Get it? So this also is called a radiant glow, a halo, anointed Christos. They call it all kinds of, even cursed. They call it cursed. It can be symbolized by horns because of the spiral that goes up that connects you to like the source. They used to demonize it. So I don't want to get into too much more of that. If you have questions, you can comment. If you even have more information, please comment. And thank you for watching. See you next time.